Alrighty, what is up? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I don't know if you can see that, but that pond is half frozen. But these are my rods, and I am taking them out of the trunk because I'm kind of stupid. You're welcome to call me that, free speech. And I'm going to try to catch one fish in this halfway frozen over pond. If anyone sees me, they're gonna judge me so hard. There's no doubt in my mind, but guess what? I really don't care. All right, so we're gonna start by throwing this little square bill. It's a flat-sided square bill, so it's got a little tighter of a wobble, which is what you want because it's more subtle. So yeah, let's start this day off. Oh, that was right at those geese. It's a good color for this day. I like to throw brighter colors on cloudier days because when you throw something silver or gold on these days, it tends to just kind of disappear in the water, whereas these stand out a little more, so I definitely prefer it. As you can see right here, there's a lot of rocks, which is good for square bills because you can bang them off all the cover and stuff. All right, let's try throwing a jig right at that little fountain over there and see what happens. Oof, got my nice little white reel all dirty. It's a shame. This is a, I think that's all-terrain. I don't know what that jig is. There's a little bandito bug on it. It's a cool color. I like it. It's got a rattle on there too, which is good because I want to try to attract these fish. That is not where I wanted that. With this water temperature, I don't know. Let's just say it's going to be really hard to get a bite. You know the water's cold when not even the ducks are in the water. Honestly, don't even know why they're here. Shouldn't they be south? Isn't that what birds do? No, you're kidding. You're kidding. You're... The amount of jigs I've lost. Oh, I can't. I can't. Do you see that? That didn't even break at the knot. That's... Oh. I think that's a sign. We are going to call it a day there because, yeah. In conditions like this, you gotta make your chances count when you get them, and I did not. Well, let's make that clear. My line did not. I guess we can throw a crankbait in here, though. Usually, if they're biting on the jig, that's about the only thing they're gonna bite on. So, yeah. That's so frustrating. It's just... Alright. We are calling it a day. Let's get back to the car, and when we get there, I'm gonna talk about what the original purpose of today's video was supposed to be. Not just breaking off $5 jigs on a $20 line. You'd think that this $20 line would be able to hold up to that, but yeah, nope. Okay, I'll see you back at the car. Oh, wow, that's loud. I was not expecting that piece of trash to be on. Anyways, I'm at my parents' house now because tomorrow me and my dad are going to Atlanta to watch a soccer game. So yeah, I have some laundry to do. I'm gonna put that in, pack up a few things, and then when I'm done with that, I will get back to you for the rest of this video. I'll see you then. What is up, fellow student anglers. On today's episode, we're going to be going over something that is near and dear to my heart because it is my absolute favorite way to fish, and that is lipped and lipped crankbaits. Where to fish them, how to fish them, where to throw them, all that good stuff. So let's get into it. So number one, let's go over where to fish both lipless and lipped crankbait. First, we're going to start with the lipless crankbait. Now this one is one that I love to throw when I'm searching for fish, don't know where they are. It's a great bait. You can cover a variety of depths depending on your line size, how long you let it sink, where you hold your rods, etc. So it's very versatile in that way. When it comes to what type of cover I like to throw it under or around, definitely going to be grass, because with it not having a lip, it's hard for it to deflect off hard cover like, say, trees in the water, wood, rocks, anything like that. But when it goes through grass, you're able to rip it out, and that can be super beneficial when it comes to triggering those fish to bite. Now when you pick up a lipped crankbait like this square bill right here, I like to throw these more when I already know where fish are. Maybe there's fish schooling, or I see some fish along a point somewhere. That's when I'll throw this. And the cover I like to throw it around is either any kind of rocks. Maybe there's a downed tree in the water and I want to throw it up there and get it to bounce off the cover there. That's when especially the square bill crankbait can be super effective, because when those fish are kind of watching it, following it or whatever, when that hits off cover and bounces off, it triggers a strike a lot of the time. So it's super effective in that way. So now we'll go over when to throw these baits, and I kind of already went into it with the lipless one, and that's really when I'm searching for the fish. Don't know where it is. In colder weather, I like to throw this a lot more. Early spring, it's my favorite time, early spring and fall. And that's when I really like to throw lipless crankbaits. And then, like I said, I kind of also went over this already, but when I'm targeting specific fish, and maybe on those summer months or early spring and summer, when those fish are looking for smaller bait fish, that's when I love to throw a square bill crankbait like that. So let's talk about depth with the two baits. So with the lipless crankbait, this one bait is super versatile. You can let it sink. You can use a smaller line diameter, which will allow us to get deeper, or you can use a larger one, which will keep it in the water column, or just reel it as soon as it hits water. It's really versatile. You can cover all sorts of depths with this, which is one reason why I really like this. Now, when it comes to a lipped crankbait, you're not gonna be quite as flexible when it comes to depth. So, say with this square bill, it probably dives 3 to 5 feet, something like that. I'm not sure exactly, but you're going to be limited to that range. Now, changing your line size, that's going to allow you to get it deeper or run it shallower. But in reality, you're really set to that small range, which can be a drawback. On the other hand, you can have a variety of different baits that can get you to different depths. So if you have the fun, you can have a multitude of crankbaits that you can get down to different depths. So on both these baits, I really like to throw fluorocarbon. It's just ideal because it sinks. It's not going to hinder that bait at all. I might on occasion throw mono when I'm throwing square bills, just because it can keep it higher in the water column. Say if I'm around really shallow rocks or cover, that's when I might throw mono, just because it floats and keeps it up high. But other than that, I'm really going to go with fluorocarbon most of the time. So my favorite colors in lipless, obviously you see it right here. It's any sort of craw color or bluegill color. So around my area, that's the primary feeding source of these bass is going to be either craws or bluegill. That's just where I live. That's southern Ohio. That's the main forage. So that's what I like to throw when I'm using a lipless crankbait. Now with a lip, it's a little bit different. I don't have the colors here, unfortunately, but I like to throw either a chartreuse, which I was throwing today earlier in the video, or a bluegill color. It's what the fish want up here. It's going to be different wherever you live, but those are just my two favorites. My favorite of each are both Strike King. This is, you probably know it, the Strike King Red Eye Shad. It's loved. It's an awesome bait. I highly recommend it. And then my favorite lipped crankbaits are the Strike King 1.0 or 1.5. They're just really awesome baits. They're inexpensive, and they have a really good action, so I'm just a big fan. Thanks for watching today's episode of Student Angling. I hope you learned something. If you did, leave me a comment, and if you have any suggestions for future videos, definitely let me know. I always love to hear that. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me. And as always, fish hard, learn more. I'll see you in the next video.